And we are back to talk about what could be the final NBA game of the season. We got Boston, Dallas, game 4. Currently, obviously, Boston up 3-0. If this is your first time watching, guys, my name is DK and I have content for Daily Fantasy Sports. Prize picks, Underdog, parlay play, all that good stuff. And the sponsor of the video, that's going to be BetMGM. They're currently running an offer where you first bet, you get $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if you do not win. $1,500. Would definitely recommend maxing that out if you can. So yeah, my best advice as always is when you are betting, get on as many of these sports books as possible. And then when you do want to place a bet, you can search for which one offers the best value. So click that link and deposit. And if you do, it really does help support the channel. So I greatly appreciate that. And then, yeah, if you guys are looking for more content, as always, you can check out my Patreon link down below. Still covering some WNBA. If you guys are interested in some WNBA DFS, been posting player pools every day. Obviously trying to get videos up every day as well. But yeah, recapping last night for me for the NBA showdown. Did not win game 3. I had a really good game 2. Came close to winning it all. Game 3 did not have a chance. I played Luka captain. Luka had a subpar game. Did not have Jaylen Brown either. So I think my lineup was Luka captain, Drew, White, Horford. I played a lot of the Boston mid-range with like PJ. But yeah, Luka subpar game. I mean, I had no chance to cash there in tournament. So that's a recap there. All right, so let's just talk about the slate. Let's quickly look at the rotation last game, and then we can get into it. So Boston, pretty easy to talk about outside of obviously waiting on the status of Porzingis. Now, my guess is he doesn't play. I think we got a report from Woj that it was kind of unlikely that Porzingis was going to play in this series. And again, they're up 3-0. So I think if this was 3-3 game 7, then there'd be a better chance that Porzingis plays. Right now, I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. So if that is the case, then we should expect a similar rotation to last game. And I said that it's probably going to be one of Tillman, Cornette, Brissett that would enter the rotation if Porzingis got ruled out. It ended up being Tillman. And a lot of the DFS sites had Cornette as the most likely guy, but it was Tillman that came in and played a bit, and he played well too. He's a solid defender, can switch. So I think if Porzingis is out again, it's pretty much a guarantee that Tillman will be that 8th guy since he did play again very well last game. But yeah, 40 plus minutes for basically all the starters, high 30s for Horford, and then low teens for Pritchard, Tillman, and Hauser. So nothing really surprising there for Boston. Now for Dallas, this could go so many different ways outside of a few guys here. So Derrick Jones Jr., that was the first game that we seen him get limited. He wasn't dealing with foul trouble. They just limited his minutes. I think the only guys that are guaranteed to get a lot of run would be Luka, Kyrie, and PJ. Outside of that, again, with a team that has nothing to lose here, down 3-0, Dallas could do a lot of different things in this game, which I think makes it a fun tournament slate. Like, honestly, they played what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys last game. Yeah, I think everything is on the table here for Dallas. I think they could run kind of a similar rotation, and if one of these bench guys gets hot, they could extend them. Hardaway played 19 minutes after the DNP in game 2, still did not hit a shot. So yeah, I think Dallas go a lot of different ways. We'll start off with Boston though. As I said, they're the easier team to talk about. Tatum at the top, 11.6, Brown at 10K. I think factoring in that price, I would rather go to Tatum, even though Brown did have the better game last time out. But it's not by a wide margin. I think obviously both Tatum and Brown are good spenders at the top. Ownership will play a role. Like last slate, Brown was projected to be the lowest on spend ups. I mentioned that I kind of liked him as a contrarian captain. He smashed. But yeah, obviously both the main Boston guys look good. They're going to play 40 plus minutes, but Porzingis, if he does play, it's going to be really hard for me to get to him. I don't even know if he'll crack 20 minutes if he plays. Right now, again, I'm not assuming he does play, and if he does not play, then Al Horford's going to start and play big minutes. I think Horford probably one of the best values in the slate, assuming Porzingis does not play. 5.8K, 37 minutes last time out. And then once again, I'm pretty high on the two mid-range guards. Derek White, Drew Holiday. These guys are going to play around 40 minutes in competitive game. So I think they're both pretty solid point per dollar plays. And then the rest of Boston, Hauser and Pritchard, viable tournament plays. Obviously, Hauser hit a couple shots, so, He had a good game, but if he's not making shots, he can very easily kill you. Pritchard has not played well in this series, has not shot well. 0 of 7, 1 of 2, and 0 of 4. So I don't think he'll be that popular, but still has played 10 plus minutes in every game so far. And the last guy to mention is Tillman. I think he will be the backup to Horford if Porzingis does not play. Had a decent game in 11 minutes, so pretty solid value play there if Porzingis does not play. Obviously, if Porzingis plays, then we're not getting to Tillman. Now, Dallas, the more interesting team to talk about, because I said I think this could go so many different ways. Luke is at the top at 13.6, had his first kind of subpar game of the series. I guess game 1 wasn't the best either, but 44 fantasy points, fouled out too as well. Lost, I think he fouled out like 5 minutes to go. But still a very safe play there at the top. If you can afford Luka. Kyrie finally had his first good game of the series. Was more aggressive looking or shot 28 times, went for 40 plus fantasy points. Still, peripheral stats have not been great there for Kyrie, so we'll see what the ownership is, but I think you got Brown and Tatum for a little bit more, and maybe those Boston mid-range guys for a little bit less that I think are a little bit more optimal than Kyrie. And then PJ, the last guy that I think is secure for minutes. Again, has not shot extremely well recently, but still playing close to 40 minutes a night. Reasonable play there in the mid-range. As I said, the rest of this team, they're going to go with the hot hand. So the center rotation, Lively, Gafford, right? It was Gafford in game 2. They extended him. Lively struggled the first couple games. Well, it was Lively last game. He played well. And we've seen this story all playoffs long with Dallas and their center rotation. They're going to go with the hot hand. So ownership will definitely play a big role in what I do here with these Dallas centers. Like, for example, if Lively is going to be massive chalk after that last game, then maybe you look to Gafford at less ownership. Now, I do think, again, Lively has a better chance of staying on the court than Gafford in a matchup like this. But, both the Dallas centers definitely have a ceiling. It's just that the floor is also low because if one of them struggles or gets in foul trouble, they can very easily go to the other. They can also play some Maxi Kleber at the 5, who's been really bad in this series too. Derek Jones Jr., first game, really kind of all playoffs that he's got really limited. It was not in foul trouble, only played 16 minutes, unless I missed something in the game. Again, I watched a majority of it. I didn't see him get banged up or anything, so definitely concerning. However, I think that will, keep his ownership pretty low. And if you told me for sure that Derek Jones Jr. goes back to playing 30 plus minutes, well, I would say he would stand out as one of the better values in the slate. So a little bit more risk there with Derek Jones Jr. And then the bench, I think they're just going to go with a hot hand. I think they're going to try some guys out, and whoever's playing well, they'll extend. So this group of like Josh Green and Hardaway and Kleber and Exum, I think Hardy could see some minutes. I think if one of those guys is playing well, Jason Kidd's is going to go with that guy, right? So ownership, again, will play a very significant role in what I do if I'm going to play one of these Dallas value plays. For example, like if one of these guys is soaking up all the ownership in this range and the other ones are getting very little ownership, I would prefer going to the lower owned options. So Josh Green at 3K, I would say is arguably probably your safest bet of these punt plays, 20, 14, and 22 minutes over the first 3 games. Not a guy with a super high ceiling, not really out there for offense, but he's probably your safest bet. Now, who's the guy with the highest ceiling? I think it's Tim Hardaway Jr. Played 19 minutes, shot 0 of 5. He has really not played well recently, was out of the rotation, but we've seen it. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is making his shots, he can go for 15 to 20 plus, right? And early, for the season, he was playing a lot. Earlier on in the season, he was playing 25 minutes a game. So if you're going to ask me who I think has the highest ceiling here, I think it is Tim Hardaway Jr., but obviously the floor is extremely low if he continues to miss his shots. Maxi Kleber, only 8 minutes last time out. That's very concerning. He has not looked like himself, that shoulder injury. I think if he was healthy, we would be seeing a lot more Kleber at the 5, but it's just he has not looked like himself. So not completely out of play, but I don't feel confident in it at all. Dante Exum is 2K. He played 3 minutes last time out. He's not completely out of play because, we did see 10 minutes 2 games ago. And then Jaden Hardy, kind of crush in the blowout in game 1. Outside of that, has barely just played a little bit. But, I think it's definitely in the range of outcomes. If Hardy comes off the bench and knocks down a couple shots, he could play 10-plus minutes for sure. So this is going to be a fun slate for tournaments just because of what we talked about, the Dallas. I just think the Dallas bench rotation can go so many different ways. So I'm very ownership is going to play a crucial role in how I'm building out my tournament lineup tomorrow if I'm going to play some of that Dallas value. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. So as always, if you do enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if there is a game 5, I'll have a video up for that. If not, it's been a great NBA season. If you guys are interested in WNBA DFS, trying to get the videos up there every single day. So I highly would recommend it. Been having a lot of fun, making some money as well. So good luck, guys, and we'll see you all in the next video.